I have been his sigillite long enough to know that he is aware of how he looks. He so detests this unfortunate aspect, a golden king, idle upon a golden throne. He dislikes seeming to be the very thing he has emphatically opposed. I have always known him to be very deliberate in his presentation. Over the millennia, he has worn many masks, each suitable to the task at hand. His mind, his greatest gift, allows him significant flexibility in such things. He has appeared as male or female, or neither, as child or elder, peasant or king, magician or fool. He has been an entire cartomantic arcana, for the master of mankind is also a master of disguise. He has performed all of these roles well, with delicacy. He has been humble when humility was needed, gentle when softness was the best device, sly, amiable, reassuring, commanding, caring. He has been terrible when terror was the only recourse, and sometimes meek in order to inherit the earth. He has been whomever and whatever it has been necessary to be. No one has ever seen his true face or learned his true name, not even me. I have known him by as many names as he has worn masks, and by as many faces. It occurs to me belatedly, in this last hour of the final act, that perhaps, just like everyone else, I have only ever seen what he has allowed me to see. Perhaps, even if this room was filled with a multitude, I would still be the only one who would see a golden king upon a golden throne, the only one for whom those fingers would appear to tremble. The notion is amusing that even now, after all we have shared, he still hides from me. He has been a king, of course, many times. A regal aspect has frequently been required. During the years of global unification, it was often necessary for him to manifest as a warlord, because humans respond to authority when they are frightened or confused. During the period of galactic reclamation, he was obliged to stride among the stars in the guise of a warrior king, armored in gold, for that was the version of him that his young sons best understood. He had to seem like them, yet more glorious, so he could command their loyalty, their respect, and their devotion. It was war, so he became warlike. They would not have followed him otherwise or obeyed his instruction. They would have doubted. He needed to be able to command them to the very ends of the stars, to secure their obedience across unimaginable distances and sustain unswerving devotion even after he had left them. So, he played that card. The Emperor. It was a version of himself that he found quite odious, but they rejoiced in it. They saw what they wanted to see. His sons committed utterly to the material war and were so fortified and resolute that he felt he could leave the completion of the work to them, because he had to return. Time has never been his ally. He had to leave his children to conclude the material war among the stars and return to this seat underground, for the immaterial war had to be fought simultaneously. One victory was nothing without the other. After Ulanor, he set that guise aside with relief. He set aside the plate, the helm, the incomparable blade, believing he would not need the aspect of War King again, for he had left the material war in their capable hands, in the hands of his chosen successor, his sons. I suppose they are my sons too, in a way, for I helped to make and shape them. The current pain of his immaterial toil is nothing compared to the pain of his grief. He is only human after all. I lament likewise. We both knew his sons would die one day, one by one, casualties of the great work, for his configuration of tomorrow could not be accomplished without collateral loss. When he marked out his plan upon his wall for me, so that I could grasp the scope of it, he allowed for contingency and redundancy. If a son fell, there would be another to take his place. Even so, we thought they would last for centuries, or even millennia, a great dynasty devoted to the accomplishment of his design for, from the very start, paint on his fingers. He knew that he could not do it alone. Thus, we made sons for him. We believed that when the necessary wars were done, those sons and their father would enjoy the long peace together, and they would walk alongside him towards tomorrow. Those sons, at least, who could be rehabilitated from the brutal mindset of warfare. But the gods are against him. The false gods, the false four. They have been trying to thwart him since he began his work, for they know that his success will signal the end of them. Fearing his version of tomorrow, they have turned against him and undone the laws of the world. We have known disappointments before, failures, setbacks. Many times, we have been forced to revise and fashion a modified path around an obstruction. One does not sustain a plan across 30 millennia without a degree of flexibility. We have known defeats, but not this. His plan is damaged. I'm not sure if we can salvage it and set it back in motion.